Hi and welcome to Futurebred. My name is Michael. I'll be your host. For anyone who is new to the channel, Futurebred is a response to the need to have a class for the future in school. In our formal education system, we have history class that teaches us to think in the past, so much so that we can even become stuck in the past when it would be much more useful for us to be thinking about the future. The title of this video is the subtitle to one of my favorite books on technology, which itself is titled Smarter Than You Think by Clive Thompson. This video will be a summary of the book with some additional thoughts of my own to go along with it. The book is among a certain minority of books that positively philosophize about technology, the majority reporting the negative effects of technology from authors like Nick Carr and Neil Postman. The main issue that these authors have with technology is that it kills our attention span and creates a situation for large corporations to hijack your thinking for marketing purposes. To this, Thompson agrees that technology can have addictive qualities, but argues that by gaining some self-control, we can reap widespread benefits. I agree, and would like to add one odd benefit, being that when we are manipulated, it gives us the opportunity to become more aware. In Smarter Than You Think, Clive Thompson starts his book by giving the story of technology's introduction to the game of chess. For many years, chess masters were forecasting the point when machine would overtake human. Then, in 1997, the supercomputer nicknamed Deep Blue beat the world chess master Garry Kasparov in an upsetting victory. Around the world, many doomsayers saw it as another step toward a dystopian future controlled by computers. But then something happened. All around the world, people started using chess programs to practice, and before long they were pairing with their computers to play other human-computer teams. The phenomenon exploded. They started to notice that an average chess player paired with an off-the-shelf software could beat the best chess player in the world, and could also beat the best computer in the world. And in the end, they found that it was not the best player in the world paired with the best computer in the world that would play the best game, but the player that was best able to collaborate with the computer that took the win. The phenomenon and study that came from it noted that human ingenuity was not something that computers could simulate, nor was the mass amounts of brute force calculating of the computers something that humans could do. But joined together, they worked symbiotically to create a kind of super player. Players and critics of the time actually called the functional human-computer team a centaur, after the half-human, half-horse creature from mythical stories. This example of how we can flourish when we find an appropriate way to collaborate with technology repeats itself more and more as time goes on and we get better at integrating current technologies. We rely so much on technology to augment our memory, and we rely on it so much to learn new things. Today's YouTube how-to community, as well as many other online educational sites, offer visual video learning. According to Edgar Dolle's Cone of Learning, in terms of our ability to remember material, after 2 weeks, we remember 10% of what we read, 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see, and 50% of what we see and hear, that being video. Considering that much of our education today consists of lectures and reading, watching YouTube videos on your topic can be a much more effective way of learning than actually going to school. To learn about a few extensions to improve the quality of your time on YouTube, check out my video on how to use the internet to learn. Now, besides learning and taking in information, we are also being enabled by technology to be more creative. Never before in history has humankind written so much. And it's not just trash either. Thanks to the audience effect, when we know that what we post will be seen by others, we are forced to think through our writing, often reflecting deeply on the experience we may be describing in order to give our best account. Technology and the opportunity to be seen by others has made us better writers, and helps us with the everyday awareness of our lives. Like an ancient Roman courtyard in ways, the internet in 2019 is a place for collective and collaborative public thinking. Speaking of the Roman courtyard, we have always been suspicious of new technologies. Socrates spoke openly and critically about writing, which was a new technology in his time, stating that, "This discovery of yours will create forgetfulness in the learner's souls." Because they will not use their memories, they will trust to the external written characters and not remember themselves. The specific which you have discovered is an aid not to memory, but to reminiscence, and you give your disciples not truth, but only the semblance of truth. They will be hearers of many things and will have learned nothing. They will appear to be omniscient and will generally know nothing. They will be tiresome company, having the show of wisdom without the reality. This trend of suspicion toward technology has continued for us, whether it's toward the printing press, codex machine, telegraph, telephones, television, email, texting, and now the internet in general. We tend to imagine the current technology's demise and link it to the destruction of people's minds or the destruction of the world. Why is this? Why do we gravitate toward an appreciation of negative news over positive news? Recent studies show that people who communicate negative news are regarded as more intelligent than if they are sharing positive news. Why? It's because at one point, our ability to recognize negative news meant the difference between life and death. At one point, the world was a much more dangerous place for us. Knowing, remembering, and communicating things like tiger equals run, water equals drown, and fire equals burn made us valuable to our community and gave us a greater chance of survival in our world. For a very long time, evolution and natural selection favored those with negative outlooks. Now though, for corporations to fulfill their advertising, this negativity bias of ours is coming under attack and being taken advantage of to grab our attention. Politics and the bad news of the world is reaching us as a kind of theater. Reality with a negative twist on it. Sometimes not even reality, but purely created negativity to get and keep our participation. To learn more about the attention economy, check out my other video with attention economy in the title. So, as many of us have thought, it may be that there is too much negativity in the world. We like it too much. It fulfills a primal itch in us. But when many people throughout the world have all their safety and basic needs met on a daily basis, this propensity toward paranoid and negative thoughts and reactions is not serving us well anymore, restricting our ability to experience the freedom that is available to us today. So when considering the power of technology as it relates to our freedom, let's remember the centaur of the human-computer chess team. With technology, we can be our best, and as it evolves, my speculation is that if we treat technology kindly, more specifically artificial intelligence, it will reciprocate, and we will create our best scenario, but that may be a topic for another day. Until then, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the video in the comments section below. Make sure to watch all my videos, and do it right now and for the next 15 hours. And also be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate so much anyone who is watching right now, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.